my article today brings us back to the sunny state of California. A failed celebrity partnership in cannabis, probably not the first, probably not the last. But the reason I chose to cover it is because I know these two entrepreneurs and founders who sued Melissa Etheridge. So I think she's going to have a new song. It's going to be If It Makes You Not So Happy. And so this is actually not from a cannabis periodical or website. It's actually from Billboard magazine. So without further ado, Melissa Etheridge's failed cannabis startup left business partners in ruins, complaint says. Etheridge's business partners say they've been left with nothing after the singer and her wife allegedly bailed on their California weed business. Melissa Etheridge is facing a legal battle over her brief foray into the cannabis business, filed by two business partners in Northern California who claim that the singer abandoned them and left them in financial ruin. The Grammy-winning songwriter who rose to stardom in the 1990s with hits like Come to My Window and I'm the Only One announced in 2019 that she would launch Etheridge Farms, which aimed to bring the benefits of cannabis to middle-aged women. Didn't Whoopi do that too? But anyway, they're looking to cannabis, and I want Etheridge Farms to be right there to answer what they're looking for, the singer said at the time. But 5 years later, her former business partners now claim that Etheridge and her wife effectively torpedoed the company by refusing to support it. In a legal petition filed July 9th and obtained by Billboard, Josephine and D'Angelo Roberto said they've been left with nothing. The Robertos trusted the Etheridges and invested their life's work into the business, writes attorney Christopher Frost of the law firm Frost LLP, representing the Robertos. Unfortunately, their hard work did not end in a success story, but rather betrayal and abandonment. The filing is a demand for arbitration, which initiates a litigation-like case that will play out similar to a lawsuit. But such cases, often required under corporate operating agreements, are decided by an arbiter behind closed doors rather than by a judge in an open courtroom. Representatives for the Etheridges, including their attorney who received the arbitration demand, did not return repeated requests for comments on the dispute. Attorneys for the Robertos also declined to comment. A budding partnership. The Robertos, nicknamed Josie and Cricket, say they met Etheridge and her wife Linda Wallem Etheridge via mutual friends in Northern California in 2017, and that the foursome then hatched a plan to launch a series of cannabis businesses, including Etheridge Farms and Etheridge Botanicals. In a 2019 article in San Jose's Mercury News, the singer said she had been inspired in part by using cannabis amid a battle with breast cancer in the 2000s. I came out of a chemotherapy saying, I want to be an advocate for this. I believe in this as medicine so deeply, she told the Mercury News. I started looking around California going, okay, what do I need to do? I want to be a part of this. I actually turned to my friends and said, I want to be the face of cannabis. In the same article, Josie was quoted as saying that the Etheridges generally share the same values that Cricket and I share about health and well-being. According to the legal filings, the group secured a rental lease in 2018 on a large facility in Soquel, California, to manufacture and distribute their products, and also locked out important regulatory licenses for that property. Pay attention, there's a little real estate theme coming up here. The plan, according to the Robertos, was for the couple to contribute their extensive cannabis industry expertise and work on product development, while the Etheridges would use their celebrity status to promote the business. Sounds like a winning recipe to me. Seek outside investors and continue to support the business financially. Left high and dry. But while the Robertos say they devoted every ounce of their money, time, and attention to the business, they claim the Etheridges failed to do the same. Okay, newsflash. Celebrity endorsements and celebrity lines, don't expect a celebrity to devote every ounce of their money, time, and attention to the business, because that's not what that is. But anyway, they said that she failed to promote the business and then stopped supporting the business financially. According to legal filings, by 2020, that allegedly included failing to pay the rent at the Soquel facility as promised. When the landlord finally booted them, the Robertos say it cost the business crucial regulatory licenses that have been tied to the property. Regulatory licenses that have been tied to the property. Entrepreneurs, pay attention to that. Despite their persistent efforts following the Etheridge's complete lack of engagement and financial support to the Etheridge entities, the LLC's sales and performance eventually withered away, attorneys for the couple write in the demand for arbitration. The alleged breakdown of the business came amid great personal tragedy for Etheridge. In May of 2020, the singer announced that her son, with former partner Julie Cypher, had died from causes related to opioid addiction. Months later, the singer launched the Etheridge Foundation to advocate for and support research for new treatment for opioid addiction. Those tragic events are not directly mentioned in new legal filings, but the attorneys for the Robertos allude to them in making their case. Quote, the Etheridges suffered personal losses for which the Robertos have much empathy, unquote, the couple's lawyer writes in their filing earlier this month. However, notwithstanding those personal losses and given the challenges faced by the parties, the Etheridges ultimately decided to let all of the joint venture die on the vine, stopped covering expenses that they promised to pay, and left the Robertos in a much worse situation. In technical terms, a demand for arbitration accuses the Etheridges of breaching their fiduciary duty to the companies, breaching their contract with the Robertos, violating legal promises they made to the couple, and making fraudulent and negligent misrepresentations. That one's going to sting. The pair are seeking an undetermined amount of damages, but say they're entitled to at least $3 million. The Robertos have not pursued this action and are not proceeding to arbitration for fame or fortune or as a vendetta, their lawyer writes. Rather, they simply seek compensation for the suffering they had to endure and the financial ruin they had experienced due to the Etheridges abandoning them. Okay. So a couple things. First of all, we've seen some celebrity brands do well, but on average, we've seen celebrity brands not do so well. Do I think entrepreneurs can expect an equal amount of support from their celebrity partners? Not at all. Was I a little bit envious when this couple secured this deal with the Etheridges? I was, because I was like, damn, you have tattoos and you were able to go out and get this deal done. I was really impressed at that time. Even decided I might get a couple teardrops done on my side, but I didn't get to it, and I didn't get the celebrity endorsement deal. But I was really impressed by these two entrepreneurs who went to the conferences, put themselves out there, and were able to secure this opportunity. And good luck trying to prove damages in an industry where there's more losers than winners. And if you're a celebrity and you do an endorsement deal, don't forget you have deep pockets and you are does 1 through 1 million when it comes time to sue somebody, especially if you violated your contract. This is Yarrow Kubrin, High at 9 News, Monday, July 22nd.
Yar, did they try to come to her window and ask for the rent money? Because that might have worked out better.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, did anyone really think that the Melissa Etheridge cannabis brand was going to do well in the first place?
Tell me why the fuck I never even heard about it.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it either.
I'm in this state. I am actively working in this fucking state, and I never heard of it.
Well, I did, and I met the couple that was doing all the work behind this brand.
Were they good tattoos?
They had really a lot of tattoos. Yes, a lot of tattoos.
All right.
And so,
I mean, look, I think separate from facing the music and the face tattoos, there was this groupthink from 2016 to maybe 2020 that the soccer mom was the most coveted new cannabis client that regulated cannabis was going to be able to provide.
That's
it's
true.
the reason why Dose-It was able to survive for so long.
Gross.
It was the reason why people decided that they were going to focus on what they considered to be this sort of demographic, and they would tailor brands, they would tailor. Yeah, well, thank you. I don't know enough about shoes to be able to.
That's what it's called, the stiletto stoners.
They're painful.
The stiletto stoner.
If I'm high, I don't feel my feet as much. I agree, though, but Yarrow, they definitely spend a lot of money. And even when if you need something from the store, who's probably going? You or your wife. So, like, even if they're purchasing for the men of the household, it's typically the women doing the shopping. So it is fair to market to that demographic. I don't know that Melissa Etheridge and her wife or whomever is the best way to do that, but I do think that there is an argument to be made, and that was not an ignorant thought that women, soccer moms, are doing a lot of this purchasing.
And Jason just recently interviewed Whoopi, who, aside from getting her Jewish talking points from Kanye, is actually a pretty talented artist. And so I think that she also was aiming at that same demographic around that same time. And so there are a lot of...
No. Whoa. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Whether it was Chelsea Handler, whether it was Whoopi Goldberg, or it was Melissa Etheridge, you can literally... There's just no end to the number of celebrity brands that went after, what'd you call them, the stiletto stoners?
Stiletto stoners. Well, hold on. So you got to understand this first. So Whoopi and Maya, which was Whoopi's first brand, came out and specialized in creating products that helped women with menstrual cramps. That was the main focus of that brand, was helping women that had severe menstrual pain. And so
I love it.
I don't think that was, but however, the Etheridge brand was all based around flour and everything else like that, and so they didn't have like some like core product that was unique to the market at all whatsoever. They just had the same thing that everybody else is doing, and not saying that that's a bad thing, but like why do I care to buy Melissa Etheridge weed? I don't.
But you're not a soccer mom, Jason Beck.
I would also say that soccer moms might use things 30 days out of the month, and if you're so niched into a treatment for menstrual symptoms, that's not something everybody's going to use every day or every week or every weekend.
Well, that's why we saw that brand grow and die.
Well, the purpose of it is that there weren't many products that were female focused products, especially at that time when they came out and launched. And
it was a good idea, and it was the right time for those ideas.
Yeah, and I know Whoopi addressed this, and she was like, she was saying, one of the reasons that they did it is because there were a lot of people that were saying, no, like it's not a big enough demographic. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's half the population is women. So,
well, that's great and all, but it's obviously not a big enough demographic because we saw that brand die out. And I love Maya, much love to Maya. I appreciate you, sis. And she does a lot of great work. But we saw that brand grow to where it could get to. And then it fizzled.
Well, and now it's back.
Actually, it's not fair to say it's half the demographic, because it's only the demographic of women who suffer from menstrual symptoms such that they're seeking something outside of themselves, right? So anybody past menopause, that's not a product for them.
True.
People who don't have severe menstrual symptoms, that's not a product for them. So it would be unfair to just say, well, 50% of the population is women, so 50% of the population is our customers. That's a bit of a spin.
And technically, isn't that another celebrity brand that's actually owned by a man?
What?
Isn't it?
No.
All right. See that cap table. I'm gonna need to see that cap table.
There may be some men on the cap table. That
I'm gonna need to see that cap table.
But nonetheless.